China has officially commissioned its second aircraft carrier, the Shandong. The ceremony took place on the 17th of December 2019. Chinese President Xi Jinping presided over the commissioning ceremony at a naval base in Sanya, on the southern island of Hainan, the ship's home port. Shandong is a first-generation Chinese aircraft carrier that was launched on the 26th of April 2017 for the People's Liberation Army Navy (PLAN) of China. It's the country's second aircraft carrier after the completion of Liaoning and the first built domestically. The Chinese fleet now ties the Royal Navy as the second biggest operator of aircraft carriers that are capable of operating fixed-wing aircraft. The U.S. Navy is in the #1 position and possesses around 20 ships capable of launching and recovering airplanes. Shandong's commission is a significant step for China, but there are reasons to believe that the Shandong will have a limited impact on a battlefield. In this video, Defense Updates analyzes why China's second aircraft carrier, Shandong, is a paper tiger. Let's get started. This video is sponsored by War Thunder, the most comprehensive military vehicle online game for PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One, in which you can go to battle on more than 1,200 playable aircraft, tanks, helicopters, and ships from the 1930s to the 1990s. The game has an amazing attention to detail and focuses on a realistic combat experience, which is why knowing your vehicles and skill really makes a difference. It's easy to get into, and all you need to play is nothing more but your mouse and keyboard or controller. Immerse yourself in cross-platform combat with more than 20 million other military vehicle enthusiasts from all over the world. Download and play War Thunder for free using the link in the description below, and also get a free bonus tank, aircraft, or ship, and 3 days of premium account. Shandong is constructed by the Dalian shipbuilding industry, which is part of the China Shipbuilding Industry Corporation. It's basically a larger copy of China's first carrier, Liaoning, a refurbished Ukrainian hull from the 1980s. Shandong has a length of 315 meters or 1,033 feet and is expected to have a displacement of around 70,000 tons when fully loaded. To give viewers a perspective, American Nimitz-class supercarriers have an overall length of 332.8 meters or 1,092 feet and displaces 100,000 tons. The aircraft carrier's name was officially announced on Tuesday. Before that, it was known as the Type 001A. It's interesting to note that both the aircraft carriers of China, Shandong and Liaoning, are named after coastal provinces close to Beijing. According to several analysts, Liaoning was intended to act as more of a training vessel, but Shandong is likely to be deployed in combat missions. We will now look at 5 technical issues with the Shandong. Shandong, like Liaoning, uses ski jump configuration. Ski jump configuration restricts aircraft's takeoff weight. This in turn limits maximum payload capacity and hence impacts range and armament capacity. American Nimitz-class carriers launch planes using steam-actuated catapults. These don't have the limitations of the ski ramp. Aircraft launched by catapults can get airborne quicker and with greater quantities of fuel and ammunition. This will certainly put the American carrier in a better position when it undertakes a strike mission. But the U.S. is moving towards a better system. Ford-class uses electromagnetic aircraft launch system, EMALS, the first to do so. The system uses a linear induction motor with an electric current to generate a magnetic field. That field then propels a carriage down a track. The power delivery is linear, unlike with steam catapult, and hence puts less stress on the aircraft. EMALS are far more suitable for launching next-generation fighters as well as drones. These also require less maintenance. Shandong is powered by conventional oil-fired boilers, driving 8 steam turbines derived from the Soviet-era examples installed on Liaoning. It's thought to possess a max speed of about 30 knots, or 55.5 kilometers per hour, which is 34.5 miles per hour, and a max range of 10,000 nautical miles. The non-nuclear propulsion limits the range of Shandong and its endurance. American Nimitz and Ford-class, being nuclear-powered, have unlimited range and endurance. Also, the limited power in Shandong leaves very little headroom for future upgrades, like installing laser weapons or railguns, which require power. For instance, 2 Bechtel A-1B nuclear reactors are installed on each Ford-class carrier. Each one of these is capable of producing 300 megawatts of electricity, triple the 100 megawatts of each Nimitz class. The more powerful reactors were installed so that there's enough power for future weapons upgrades. Viewers may note that laser weapons or railguns are no longer a distant dream, and any carriers will require them going forward. Especially laser weapons are seen as a potential defense against hypersonic anti-ship missiles that are being developed by some nations like Russia. Early warning aircraft is very important for an aircraft carrier. These can fly ahead of the aircraft carrier and keep an eye on the battle space. American carriers use the very capable airborne early warning platform, the E-2D Hawkeye, manufactured by Northrop Grumman. Operating from an altitude above 25,000 feet, the Hawkeye can warn the Naval Task Force of approaching threats and can provide positional data so that fighter aircraft such as F-18s or F-35s can be directed to meet the threat. Chinese carriers cannot operate large, specialized airborne early warning aircraft because of ski jump design. This makes a huge tactical difference and dramatically impacts the way Shandong will operate in a threat environment. To compensate for the lack of a large AEW plane, the Chinese Navy has acquired Z-18J and Ka-31 helicopters that carry air surveillance radars. But these are no match to an aircraft like E-2D Hawkeye. Shandong's main strike aircraft will be Shenyang J-15. The Shenyang J-15, also known as Flying Shark, is a 4th-generation, twin-jet, all-weather, carrier-based fighter aircraft in development by the Shenyang Aircraft Corporation and the 601 Institute for the Chinese People's Liberation Army Navy's aircraft carriers. J-15, which is basically an unethical copy of Russian Su-33, uses indigenous Shenyang Liaoning WS-10H engines, which are underpowered. It's thought to have a low maximum launch weight. With this weight limitation, the J-15 carrier fighter cannot carry a full load of fuel and weapons, so it has neither a good range or an effective weapons package. China's own media has come down heavily on it. Beijing-based Sanya Military Network (SMN) criticized the capabilities of the J-15 as nothing more than a flopping fish, incapable of flying from the Liaoning with heavy weapons, effectively crippling its attack range and firepower. Not only this, the aircraft has seen several crashes due to issues that are traced back to its engine, and China is still struggling to find a dependable replacement. So it's clear that Shandong is vulnerable because of Shenyang J-15. There are 2 important aspects of military hardware: quality and quantity. To understand this, let's look back into history. The German Tiger tank was more powerful than almost all the Allied tanks, but they were not available on the battlefield in large numbers. Having Shenyang J-15 as the strike aircraft means the quality is questionable. But this is not it. The quantity is also not favorable. One of the main advantages of an aircraft carrier is that it enables power projection far off from the homeland. This is made possible by the air wing of the carrier, which can fly out from the carrier and carry strikes on military assets of the opponents. Shandong's bigger hangars will enable it to carry 36 J-15s versus the 24 Liaoning can carry. This is far less than American Nimitz or Ford-class carriers, which are capable of having more than 60 strike fighters. This means Shandong will have a much smaller striking capacity, and this will greatly hamper its offensive and defensive capacity.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos like this. Hit the like button if you find the video interesting, and kindly provide your feedback in the comment section. This will help us improve.